Okay, so you get picked to be on a game show where you can win $100,000, but there's one problem, and it's that the game show doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened on today's episode, The Greatest Show Never Made. It was a game show, but it didn't actually exist. It was a scam. It was all a big scam.
Well, could you imagine, like, if you get picked, you go through the whole process. Like, if I got on Big Brother, made it the whole 3 months, and at the end, they were just like, just kidding.
That's pretty much what this was.
This is Things I Learned Last Night, a comedy podcast where every week we learn about an interesting topic. And this week's topic is Nikita Russian and his game show that almost could. So let's jump into the episode.
Hey, man.
What's up?
Have you ever heard of Nikita Russian?
Nikita Russian?
Nikita Russian.
Is this a phone brand?
No. Okay. He also goes by Nick Russian. Here's a picture of him. Here's a picture of him zoomed in a little bit.
Okay. I don't know who this is.
Nikita Russian or Nick Russian. Here's the thing. If you look up Nikita Russian on the internet, and like Google him, find him on Wikipedia, what you're gonna find is he's gonna be called Con. Nick Russian Con. Con. C-O-N.
Like
.con. No. Nick Russian Con. I don't know how I can make this more clear. It says Nick, and then the next word says Russian, and then the next word says con.
Oh, okay.
Like a con man.
Right, but I just didn't know if it was like parentheses con. Like,
No. It's just Nick Russian Con.
Sure.
Like a sentence, but without the other parts that make it a sentence. Maybe a phrase, if you will.
Okay.
Nick Russian. But here's the thing. You find the stuff. It says con.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this. I don't know if that's accurate. So I want you to keep an open mind.
Okay. So that's what I'm asking. Is con a name in this? Or is it saying...
No. They're saying
people?
Nick Russian is the name. They're saying he's
the
con
Nick Russian
people.
Con.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not the Nick Russian Con. It's just Nick Russian Con.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't do it. All we did was take sips of our competing brands of energy drinks to see which one will sponsor us first.
We're running a test right now to see which one gives us the most
performance better on you. It's not a Mick Ultra, dude. What are you talking about?
Bang, bang, baby. All right. So Nick Russian, here's the deal. He lives in the old UK. Brit,
my manager says I have to post more stuff about this. So he's trying to make it look natural. For the thumbnail, where I go.
Is this their brand?
This is what presidents do with a baby.
I'm trying to get sponsored by that baby.
The Gerber baby is the deciding vote. If the Gerber baby sees its shadow, Joe Biden wins.
He's not even running.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's how I don't make the rules. So Nick Russian is a
I don't make the rules. The baby does. The baby doesn't understand why Joe Biden dropped out.
He doesn't get it.
Yeah. We've tried to explain it to him.
Yeah, but he's a baby.
He's a baby. It's very difficult to get the point across.
The system is broken.
People think the Electoral College is like complicated and stuff. Yeah. It's just the Gerber baby.
Just the Gerber baby gets to pick.
That's really what it is.
You can't change it in the middle.
We put two pictures next to each other.
Yeah.
And then we go, come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he starts at the beginning of the whole campaign because they're far apart. They're like miles apart. Miles? You can't change. You can't change halfway through, or else.
I mean,
what's he gonna do?
He's 3 miles in.
It's like the torch of the
Kamala.
Olympics.
And then it's like, is he turning around? No.
Is he turning around? No. It looks like, it's insane. America.
The system doesn't make sense, but it's been working. Yeah. It's the great experiment. Anyway,
Nick Russian. Nick Russian, not Russian. He's British.
Okay. Russian's a name?
Russian is his name. Nikita Russian, name. Goes by Nick for short. Con is not a part of the name.
Sure.
He was a aspiring TV producer in the early 2000s.
Okay.
He had this dream to get into reality TV. Reality TV is just popping off. Survivor is huge. Big Brother is huge.
Yes.
And you're starting to see things like Real World is taking off. Stuff like that is entering the zeitgeist.
What was the point of Real World?
Nothing. It was Real World. It was like the first Jersey Shore.
That's what I thought.
Because you were just...
There was no game. It was just...
No, it was just this group of 20-somethings living in the real world. That's the concept. Yeah, and you just follow their life for a summer or something like that.
Sure.
Like Summer House.
Or Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore. Thank you. I forgot that one. Or Vanderpump Rules.
Or whatever MTV shows existed. Did you watch Next?
Next was a mess.
Listen, this is going to scratch the itch for some millennials.
Yeah.
Next.
Parental
Control.
Room Raiders. Shoot. And then Robin Big. You can't forget Robin Big.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a buddy comedy, and they sat down to film the buddy comedy, and the behind the scenes footage that they got
was better,
and they were like, let's just make it a reality show.
Yeah.
And so then, but I mean, like all the reality shows, there was scenes and stuff, but
for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, so Nick Russian's watching the boom of reality TV
MTV
take off.
Made.
Yeah. Ooh, that was.
Did you ever sign up for that?
I didn't sign up for that. Did you sign up for that?
No.
I only signed up for Catfish.
Because you thought you were being catfished, or
I wanted to be one.
I signed up because I was like, man, I've been catfishing this girl, and I need to be exposed, or I'll never stop.
Yeah, I can't get. I'm in too deep. I can't tell the truth.
Stop.
I need to get caught.
I have to get caught.
I'm desperate to get caught. Please catch me.
No, I did. I did sign up for Made, and. I did because well, if you don't know the premise of the show, Made was like if you would sign up and you'd be like, it would usually be like a fat kid who's like, I want to be a bodybuilder, and so they would send a bodybuilder to his town, and you would work with a bodybuilder for 3 whole weeks, enough time to get fit.
Yeah.
And then they would make that kid who's still fat. It's only been 3 weeks of training.
It's not
they would make that kid. I remember this episode very vividly.
Yeah.
Is that kid had to compete in a bodybuilding contest.
Yeah.
And it was this whole thing about like how he's gained confidence and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was, and not in a mean way, still fat.
Yeah. Yeah. Should not have competed.
Right.
Yeah.
But was doing all the poses and all this stuff and was like, I really gained a confidence. And he helped me see that it wasn't about what my body looked like on the inside, but about who I looked like on the inside, you know? And I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, so I signed up for Made because then I signed up to be a comedian.
Oh, really?
It was like 2009.
It's so interesting to me.
And you had to put like who the celebrities you wanted to work with were, and I put Dane Cook. So.
Well, he was the biggest at the time. So that's not surprising.
Yeah. It'd be like someone putting Matt Rife now. It's pretty similar, actually. Maybe not. 6 months ago?
6 months ago. 6 months ago for sure.
8 months ago?
Yeah.
I told you I went and spoke at my high school, to the drama classes at my high school.
Yeah.
And I did like 4 classes where they just came in, they got to ask me questions because I'm a person who works in drama. Sometimes I make fun of my wife for this because she has a theater degree. And I go, yeah, but I work in theater. She didn't like that joke. But my drama class, I came and spoke to my high school.
Yeah.
And the first question every single class asked, raised their hands. I said, yeah, go ahead. They go, do you know Matt Rife? Every single class.
And you got to say?
And by the third one, I just started to be like, yeah. Yeah, I do.
You've met him, though.
I have opened for him, but so not before he was.
So you could say, yeah.
I was like,
you can't say yeah.
Yeah. I was like, we're bros.
Yeah.
You know?
You see this trophy? That was mine. We gave him that.
We gave him that.
You can't tell, but so Nick Russian has dreams of starting his own reality TV show.
Right.
Not Made. Not. It was. it was a game show, reality game show, but like long-term competition show like Big Brother or Survivor is the idea. He's calling it Project MS2. So he goes and he takes out an ad in the paper. And in this ad, it says, want to win $100,000. So great. Well, I should say, it says...
Where is he at?
The UK.
Okay.
So it wasn't $100,000. It was $100,000, whatever UK stuff
where at
is.
In the
UK? London.
Sure.
I can't name another UK place.
Sure.
No, I do know that eventually we end up in London. So I guess he had to take it across. Yeah, he had to post it across all of the
I don't
UK.
know what their LA is. Is it London?
London is, yeah. You know what I saw the other day? I don't know if this is true, so might be misinformation.
Great.
But we're just going to throw it out there as if it's true.
Please.
If the UK was a state, do you know where it would rank as an economy along the 50 states? Take a guess.
47th.
Close. Actually, really close.
Yeah?
49.
Really?
Yeah.
Mississippi's
49.
below it.
Yeah, Mississippi.
For sure.
Mississippi's 50.
Dude,
and then
it sucks that Mississippi's so bad, dude. It really does. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. A fun thing I know about London.
Yeah, what do you know about London? Tell me what you know about London.
Did you know that London
is
smaller in square mileage than Springfield, Missouri? Did you know that?
I'm pretty sure that's Paris.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was Paris that was stat was.
No, it's London.
Are you sure it was London?
I'm 100%. Because London has like almost the amount of people that Los Angeles has.
Yeah.
But it's crammed into the square mileage of Springfield.
Get out of here with that. Okay, so he puts up these.
I heard that somewhere.
Shut up. He put an ad in the paper, and this ad
was like, "Hey, we're doing a game show."
Yeah, Project MS2. Be a part of it. Come to these auditions. There's a potential for you to win $100,000 if you participate in this.
Okay.
And so puts this ad out. A bunch of people show up, and they show up to this. It's almost like a wedding venue. It's like an event space you rent, but it's like really nice and ritzy.
Okay.
There's a camera crew there. There's all these like
is Ritzy
catered
a reference to the Ritz-Carlton?
I think Ritz was a word before the Ritz-Carlton. Like I think Ritz-Carlton made that part of their thing because there's that song from the 90s where it's
on the Ritz.
Yeah. God wasn't joking. He wasn't putting on the Ritz. Our God is an awesome God.
I don't think that's the lyrics. He's putting on the Ritz.
He was for sure.
That is not the lyrics. Is he putting on the Ritz?
Yes. Our God isn't here.
He was not putting on the Ritz, dude. What are you talking about?
That's not
He's
in there.
putting on the Ritz? No, he wasn't. You think our God is an awesome God because he was cool?
I swear on my life. This is a new Mandela effect. I swear on my life. He said he wasn't, our God wasn't joking, wasn't putting on the Ritz. Here,
Our God was a what?
Our God wasn't joking, wasn't putting on the Ritz. Our God
wasn't putting on the Ritz. Our God wasn't joking, wasn't putting on the Ritz. Our God is an awesome God. You think. No.
I swear on my life that this was a thing. And now I'm losing my mind. Oh, here it is. Okay, so
you just typed in a chat GPT.
When he rolls up his sleeves, he ain't just putting on the Ritz. Our God is an awesome God.
All right.
There's a thunder in his footsteps.
He ain't just putting on the Ritz. Our God is an awesome God. There's thunder in his footsteps and lightning in his fists.
I'm not crazy.
How crazy is it to be like, our God loves everyone and is just really compassionate and caring. And also, there's thunder in his footsteps and lightning in his fists. Like, what is he freaking...
I thought I was insane for a second when I
Mike
looked that
Tyson
up,
over
wasn't
here
in the lyrics at all. I was losing it. Okay, so God wasn't put on the Ritz, but Nick was. And so he had this venue set up.
Yeah.
And there was like catering, there was a film crew.
Yeah.
And he was doing interviews with everyone that was there to see if they'd be a good fit for the show.
He's solely casting this thing.
Yeah, so he's casting it. But no, there's like a crew, there's a director on set, so the director's interviewing as well.
Okay.
And then there is, which I'll show you, I don't have a picture of the director when he's young, so I can show you the director later when he's old.
Yeah,
because that's the only.
And then I can use my eyes to be like,
that's what he would look like young.
All right, I can figure it out.
And then there was a psychologist there that was like interviewing them and seeing if they were like psychologically fit to be on the show.
Sure.
And so he interviews all these people.
That's probably why I wouldn't pass on the Big Brother. They'd be like, why'd you take those antidepressants in 2015?
They'd be like, are you allowed to be a pilot?
The FAA says no, so does CBS. The FAA didn't say no, by the way.
The FAA said you need to get
FAA
doctor's
was like, They were like, hold on.
The FAA said sign this, get your parents to sign this.
My dad says I can fly this plane.
Excuse me?
I said, my dad.
Not getting on the...
Okay.
My dad says, sir, you're 40. You can't talk like that anymore.
Okay. Stupid. So he's got like a whole, like he's casting this.
Yeah, he's casting. And so they're asking...
a casting call.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, he's asking all the questions. He's saying, okay, we're going to whittle it down to 30 people. And so then does the interviews, does all the thing. Everybody goes home and they're like anxiously waiting to find out, am I going to be a part of this? They have visions of Big Brother. They have visions of Survivor. And this was a time too, where I do think you need to acknowledge nowadays, these sort of shows have changed where now if you're watching the show, these people are already social media influencers that they put on the show.
Yeah.
Back then,
casting like knows certain people that they want to put on a thing.
Yeah. Back then, people who would get on these shows were literally nobodies, and it would jumpstart their career. These people would become famous for being on these shows.
Right.
Now it's inverted. And so this was all these people.
Which is why I think I have a better shot of getting on Big Brother now.
Yeah, because you're already famous.
Well. Big Brother, do you guys have any interest in someone that homeschoolers know about?
Yeah. What's your homeschooler audience like? Because I can bring them.
They're not going to like all the showmances and shirtless people on the show, though. So
this season would have been perfect for them to love Pentagon.
There's like no... Oh, yeah. They're all over each other. It's crazy.
So
if you're not into Big Brother, this is a season to jump in on because usually we have to wait like 2 months for people to really lose their minds. But episode 4
immediately.
Episode 4 really brought it on. It was great.
Yeah, watch it streaming.
We're
on
watching
Peacock.
When does this episode come out?
No, it's Paramount Plus.
When does this episode come
Paramount Plus. This episode comes out soon. This will come out August 27th.
Oh shoot. Never mind then. Happy back to school week. In the early days of this show, we did like affiliate ads where we were like, hey, sign up for Grammarly and use code TILLN and we got like 15 cents. And now we just do Patreon. It's a much better way. It's better for us as creators. It's better for you as listeners. And it's a much more fun way for us to interact. We do monthly hangouts like on Zoom. We just hang out and play games online and get to know each other. It's a really fun time. So, but still use our code TILLN at Grammarly.com because I think it's still active. We might get like a couple cents from that. Yeah. But join us on Patreon because we're having a great time.
Yeah. If you don't, we're going to have to start doing mobile game ads. They all are going on.
I'm probably at Disney right now. If you're listening to this, just know that like, because when all the kids go back to school, Disney is a paradise, dude. Yeah. It's awesome.
Okay. The people who come out,
we can do a whole tangent.
People,
where you're spending 20 minutes ranking states.
Well, here's the thing: we've done so many tangents.
And then I go, Disney's great when kids are gone, and you're like,
whatever, dude.
Okay, go on.
So the people that this attracts to the casting call are people who think this is going to be their break. They're people who want to be famous for stuff.
Right.
Maybe don't have a lot of talent. Maybe have some talent, but they want to be famous. And so this is kind of a dream scenario.
I'm trying to think of anybody who's famous from, well, I mean, I get, I don't, I mean, are there people who got famous from these shows that we would still know about now? You know?
I don't know.
Like, there was the wave of American Idol winners.
Yeah, American Idols for sure.
Like Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
But then Ruben, you didn't hear from Ruben at all.
Yeah.
Who knows what he's up to?
I mean, I bet he's touring still.
I doubt it.
What's his last name? Stutter?
And then do you remember Susan
Boyle?
Yes.
Oh, Ruben's dead.
Is he really?
I'm kidding.
Oh, shoot, dude.
No, he's still touring.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
Apparently.
He's got a good sandwich. But do you remember Susan Boyle?
Yeah, Susan
Where it's like
Boyle,
she became famous for being ugly. Like people were like, oh my.
But she was also a really good singer.
But people walked on stage and they were like, oh my God. Like that's why she went viral. Like you would never expect that to sound good. And you're like,
that's
guys.
The thing. That was it.
She became famous via bullying.
If she was a bad singer.
She got bullied into fame. It's wild.
If she was a bad singer, she would have just been like that splash in the pan.
That's true.
Like what's his
I don't
face?
know.
That guy. He had a splash in the pan moment.
He still does cameos. We'll buy one for the end of this episode. He can do our Fiddle Off. We're 100% spending money on that.
That's hilarious. Okay, so I don't even remember where we're at. Nick
people want to become
famous, so they're auditioning for this.
Kind of people that draws.
Yeah.
And so weird people.
He narrows it down to 30 people, reaches out to all of them and says, congratulations, you've been selected, and sends them a beefy contract. And the contract outlines what they can wear every day, the sort of things that they're allowed to talk about, and kind of gives an early understanding of what the show is going to be.
Okay.
And basically the nature of the show is they're going to be split into teams of 10. There's going to be 3 teams of 10 that are going to be facing off against each other in London over the course of a year. And each team needs to raise $1 million. And that's what they're told. And
what's the pay for $100,000?
Yeah. And so the winners
would split the $1 million.
Yeah, they split it 10 ways and everyone takes $100,000.
And his thought is, okay, so your thought is you have 3 teams.
Yeah.
If one team reaches $1 million, team 2 reaches 700,000, team 3 reaches 500,000, then you're at a $1.2 million profit.
I don't know if that's the idea. I mean, if we're looking at this purely as a con, then that's probably the idea. I don't think that's the case in this scenario, though.
Sure.
So,
but I'm just seeing like, oh, I can, yeah. Just that layout, I understand the con.
So,
which is pretty good.
Pretty good con.
I need 30 people to try to make $1 million, and then they each split. The winning team, the other 2 teams get nothing.
Yeah.
The winning team gets to split. Let's say they all 3 reach $1 million.
Yeah.
But it's whoever did it first.
Yeah, whoever gets there first.
Sorry, guys. I get $2 million. Wow. 10 of you get 100,000. Pretty good con.
Yeah. Well, so and it's going to be a year. So he tells them all, you need to figure out housing. You need to figure out your jobs. You need to figure out, and what I'm saying when I say figure out, they need to figure out the fact that you're not going to be able to pay rent for a year. You're not going to work for a year.
You're going to live in a house.
Yeah, you're going to be in London for a year doing this. And so you need to make arrangements with your personal life before this date, and then show up in
your
London.
Divorces.
Get those
euthanize your
done.
pets.
Whatever you need to do, take care of it now, because you're going to be gone for a year. You know? And so all these people...
That's like the people who did the 9-month cruise. You remember the 9-month cruise thing?
Isn't that still going on?
Even by the time that this episode comes out, they're still on it. That's the thing. They at the time of recording have 33 days left.
Yeah. Which is insane.
By the time this comes out, they will have 20 days left.
That's such a long time to do one thing.
Yeah, I told Reagan, I said... as of yesterday, yesterday was our 9 months in Los Angeles.
Jeez, and that's how long they've been on
That's how long they've been on the freaking boat, dude.
Can you imagine being on a boat that long?
I love the videos. They're all tired of it. They're all so sick of it.
Oh, they've got to be.
Yeah.
And so these people trusted this. They started making arrangements because at the casting call, while they were there, Nikita comes out and he kind of presents the show to them. And in the casting call, he says, "Hey,
What was he calling the show?
It's Project MS2."
That's right.
And he's like, "Hey, CBS is running this. Channel 4 is going to run this show. Right. It's sponsored by Richard Branson is sponsoring the show. Sure. He's cash flowing it." And so like they hear all this stuff, they believe this is pretty legitimate, and it's the boom of reality TV. And so they're told show up in London on this date, bring whatever you need for a year. Bang bang baby.
Okay.
I like turned and then
full audible it back into this. you went to and then came back and went bro, amateur hour, dude. We've been doing this for like 7 years.
It's the bang, man.
We've been doing this for 7 years.
It's so hard to do something this long. Can you imagine doing something?
Could you imagine doing something for 7 years?
7 years
to make $12?
Okay, so he gives them the date. The 30 people make arrangements. They
working on thumbnails.
They sell here. Homes. They cancel rents. They quit their jobs.
They've signed a contract though.
Yeah, they signed this contract. And some of them even broke off relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
could you imagine? You're the girl you're dating.
Do you need to talk about something?
Do you want to grab coffee tomorrow?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, sure. Yeah. And then I'll just meet you there.
Okay.
That's a red flag. If you're in a relationship for a while and they go, I'll meet you there, you're going to get broken up with.
Yeah. Yeah. Say, actually, I think I'm busy.
We'll drive separate.
I have plans.
Oh, no. Sorry.
I've got other things.
I died.
I think I'm dead.
I think I'm dead.
Actually, we can try next week.
This is easier if I just die.
It's easier on me if you don't get a chance to dump me.
I'm breaking up with now. That's the problem. Is that my wife would just be like, "You just want to meet there?" No, I'm breaking up with you.
No, I'm gonna be.
She's like, "What?" Here's the papers.
Here's the papers. I got them signed and everything.
Because I wanted to drive separate. Sign and everything. You've got pre-signed divorce papers.
Yeah, I've been signing for you for years anyways, so I might as well sign for you on this.
Light fraud. Okay.
So these people show up to this.
But I'm saying they legally can hold him to certain things because they've got this contract.
Legally, in theory.
Sure.
So they show up to this location in London. It's a park. They get there and nobody's there. It's raining and they have their bags. And 30 people trickle in. They see the 30 of them, but there's no camera crews. 1, 2, 3. They're like, okay, this is. And they're like, hey, are you here for the reality TV show?
And
everyone's kind of excited, but it's raining.
30 kids waiting on their dad to come home. Standing in the rain. And they're like, maybe this is, and someone's like, maybe this is part of the show. Maybe this is like the first challenge. Maybe there's like hidden cameras. And so they're like, kind of like, and they're like,
getting interested. And then
how long do you wait? How long did they wait?
Well, they're there for a little while.
Like, I don't think this is part of the show.
I don't know if this is this. So they wait for a little while, and then out of the bushes comes Nikita Russian. He didn't come out of the bushes. He just came from another part of the park, walks up.
Oh, for real? He did show up.
And he walks up, and they're like, oh, hey, there's the producer.
And he goes,
what?
Welcome.
Hello, my children.
To Project MS.
Project
M2R?
MS2.
MS2.
Project ASMR.
S? What is S?
Doesn't know sign language. It starts out confidently knows the M.
He comes out.
Confidently gets the M. Realizes he doesn't know the S.
Welcome to Project M. Yes. 2.
Stu. And then just like panics out of it real quick.
Kevin Hart.
He got Kevin Hart to come do a set in
cool.
the park. It seemed trustworthy.
We spent all of your money on this. Okay, so he does show up, though.
Yeah, so he splits.
But how long had it been waiting?
He's there. They've been waiting, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour. Not long.
3 groups.
Splits into the 3 groups.
They're at the park.
They're at the park.
Like, you go to that side of the park.
Yeah, you guys go over there.
This is just youth group.
You guys go over there. Yeah, and then he talks to them 1-to-1, 1 to 10 in each group, and basically dumps on them. Oh, hey, this is a little different now. He says, one of you is going to have to be the cameraman. And so
Blair Witch style.
Yeah. So pick out one of you who you think is the best suited to be the cameraman. And then also, you guys,
you're going to have to operate this boom mic.
Well, he said also, by the way, you need to also come up with where you're going to live and what you're going to eat. All of that is not provided for you. That's part of the show. You need to figure out shelter and food and water and all your essentials as well as a team. So they pretty much tells them, "Hey, welcome to London. You're homeless now. Good luck." And
maybe
the game
that's what those flights of migrants are.
What?
You know how Ron DeSantis keeps flying people from the border different
He's trying
places?
He's
dropping them off places, and he's just like.
He's like, Project MS3.
Yeah. And you're like, was this what you're doing? He goes, S?
3.
You can't do
the figures don't bend right. Yeah, so they all of a sudden find out, oh, okay, so now everything's also on us. Now the contract did say in the contract that food and shelter was provided.
Right.
And so they're like, oh, this is not exactly what you said anymore.
I'd be so mad.
And they were like, where's the director? And he's like, the director's not here.
He's like, I am the director.
Yeah.
You actually can call me the director.
Yeah, it'd be sweet if you called me director.
It'd be really cool.
I'd be really excited if you called me the director.
I have this little chair.
Yeah. I'll be bringing it around when you're doing stuff. You'll see me. He's just in the distance all over London watching them. 2 of the groups hear this news. And they're outraged. And they immediately go home. They're like
20 people?
Yeah. 2 groups were like, this is ridiculous. They're like,
one group of 10 is like 2 groups down.
they're like, we got the contract.
Like 2 whole groups or like 10 people total stay? Because I can imagine like 2 people from one group stayed and then,
2 whole groups together had the conversation and were like, this is, you lied to us. We have a contract. We're going to take legal action. We're going home.
Yeah.
And so they threaten the legal action. They get out of there. The other group has no idea that this happened.
Hey,
want to get coffee? We can drive together if you want.
So I'm coming home tomorrow. No, I didn't win. I'm really sorry for all the stuff I said about your mom. And what are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah, you free?
Can you pick me up from the airport?
So 20 people leave.
Yeah.
The other 10, they don't know that happened though. They don't know that the other people
see them
left.
leave. They're like, shoot, guys, this is starting to start.
The game's going. We gotta go. Yeah. And
they're like pushing them. Like the people who are left, they're like, oh, I'm gonna beat you. And they're like, all right,
whatever you're doing, I don't know. So these people, they think, okay, this is messed up. Yeah. We don't think that this is legit. But at the same time,
we've already committed.
Let's just give it a shot.
Yeah, I already used it as my dog.
So there's a guy named Tim, and I'm going to show you a picture of Tim. This is a picture of Tim now, okay? So this is Tim.
Oh, I can picture what he looks like younger.
This is not the director. This is one of the group people in the group of 10.
Right.
Based on this picture, I want you to take a guess.
I can picture what he looks like younger.
Okay, good. Happy. Based on this picture, I want you to take a guess on what this guy's career is. Based on this picture, what do you think he does for a living? I think you can get it. I really genuinely think you can get this.
Is he in his space where he does this thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, he might have done this there before. I don't know. But the space won't give you any clues.
What he does for a living now?
Well, he's done it since then. So since the early 2000s when this was filmed, he was pursuing this career as well.
Okay. You think I can get this?
I think you could genuinely, based on this photo, guess what he does.
Oh, geez. Okay. Is he a hairdresser?
Oh, that's close.
No, it's not. What does he do?
He's a clown. He's a full blown clown.
For audio listeners, he's a clown.
He is a clown, like a literal clown.
Like a full blown clown.
He's like an actual clown.
Not like a halfway clown. He's a full. That's a full clown.
Red nose and everything. So no, okay. Look at that picture. You can't tell me based on that picture now that you know. You're like, that is a pretty clown way to talk.
Nope. I don't think I would have guessed it. I don't think I would have guessed it at all. You thought I was going to look at that picture and go, that's a clown.
That's a clown. I genuinely did. I genuinely thought you'd see that and think.
I wanted to be a rodeo clown when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah, I never been to a rodeo. Just thought it looked cool.
Just thought rodeo clowns were sick, bro.
Yeah. They were way braver than the bullfighters.
So here, I do have, here we go.
Okay.
Here's a picture of him when he was younger at the time. And so he was the only person.
And he was a clown then.
He was a clown then too, yeah.
Okay.
So he was the only person in this group of 10 that actually lived in London. And so he's like, guys, we can all go stay at my flat. That's a London thing. They say that instead of apartment.
He's like, you guys can just come home with me?
Yeah, he's like, we can go stay at my flat and figure out our game plan. And he's like, also, I do have a video camera. I could be our cameraman. And so Tim is like volunteering to
sure,
take charge, take advantage of the situation.
He's like, I just need a percentage from each of you when we win.
Yeah, just give me 20% of your winnings of each of your. That's
extra 20 grand right there.
That's the way to play that. Each though, if everybody gives you.
Oh, if every person gives you 20?
Everyone gives you 20%. Oh. That's the way to play this game. See, that's why, man, you should be in Big Brother. So he becomes the cameraman. Here he is with one of the other contestants back at his flat.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing.
She grew up to be that old lady in Shutter Island. You know that goes. You know what I'm saying?
So they go back to the flat. They start putting together a game plan of what they're going to do.
Go back to this is his apartment, his flat. What's the artwork back there?
I think that's Bugs Bunny playing the trumpet.
That's what it looked like to me. All right, just making sure.
And so everybody goes back.
He's a clown.
Yeah. Everybody goes back to his apartment. They start game planning what they're doing. This group of 10 is like, hey, this is a little messed up. We don't know what's going on here, but we're going to give it a shot. We're here. Right. It looks like the other people went to go take action. So we're going to take action and we're going to start putting together a plan of how we're going to play this game. In that process, whenever they were at the park, Nikita was like, oh, by the way, there's a new contract. Sign it tonight. And I'll come by and pick it up. And so they go home. They start looking at the contract. Things are tweaked a bit. Like, you're not going to get any food. You got to get your own food. You're not going to get any shelter. You got to get your own shelter. Things like that. So there's been some changes. And they're like, oh, that's weird that you changed
this. The prize money's still the same?
Prize money's still the same, but it's a little bit more clear now that it's like you're earning this 100 grand. And the concept for the show is you're Undercover Billionaire.
Yeah.
That's the show. The show is we're going to go out, we're going to raise this money.
We're going to try to figure out how to become.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Undercover Billionaire is a show where
first season's great.
First season, they found the only good billionaire.
Well, it was his idea for the show.
Yeah. And so he's genuinely, honestly, might be the only
great guy.
The only good billionaire.
Yeah.
And the concept was you get dropped into a city you've never been to before, usually a smaller city.
You have $100 cash.
Yep. And you have a phone with no contacts, like a flip phone with no contacts, and a truck, a pickup truck.
Pickup truck.
And you just have to, you have, what was it, 30 days?
No, it was 90.
90 days to start a company that was worth $1 million.
Yeah, he didn't make $1 million, but the company had to be valued
at $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had 90 days to do it. Great first season. Second season was also entertaining, but they were normal billionaires.
They were normal billionaires who were
they sucked.
Bad people.
They sucked.
Who were just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, dude. Every time they talked, you'd be like,
ugh. So they
And then one of them is a pretty recognizable figure.
Yeah.
And so we are pretty sure that the help he got from there was a local dealer there, like a car dealer guy.
Yeah.
Who really kind of helped get his business started and invested in him.
Yeah.
We're 90% sure that guy recognized him.
Just knew.
And was just like,
oh yeah,
yeah, dude.
Play this game.
For sure. I'll work with you. What did he say his name was?
Oh, I don't remember what he said his name was, but I know that guy met him out of the blue one day, and then
yeah, sure,
5
Mark.
days later gave him 10 grand.
I'll write you a check for $10,000. I believe in you.
Because I believe in you.
Grant Cardone. I mean, Mark. I'm Grant Cardone. I don't care. He sucks, dude. He's such a bad person.
He does suck.
He's not going to listen to this.
Yeah, he might.
No, he won't.
He likes stuff where people...
Grant Cardone.
So this show is similar, except for these people have no experience making $1 million.
Right.
And they're in a bigger city.
One of them was a clown. These people literally have no experience making money.
And they're in a city they've never been. Here's the thing, though. If you think about it, 10 people to get to $1 million, you each just got to make 100 grand in a year, which is not easy.
Right.
But it's also not incredibly difficult, you know?
Grant Cardone.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You could,
Let's hear
in theory,
No,
each
keep
of them
going.
could just go get a couple jobs and pull it off. In theory. I mean, as long as you don't pay taxes.
Yeah. But I guess you're splitting your living 10 ways. If you're fine living in a place with 10 people.
Yeah.
My rent with 10 people in my apartment, my rent would be $200.
Yeah. It's not bad. Not bad. And this is 2002.
Yeah.
Anyways, so... Hey, thanks for checking out this episode. If you like it, there is some great news for you. We have a mailing list. In that mailing list, we give updates on past episodes. So things in the news, things that happen for episodes. We've got over 200 episodes we've done. And every week, things are changing. New updates are coming out. And we're keeping you up to date on what's happening in the happenings of TILLN Topics. So if you want to keep learning stuff, even beyond the content of the episodes, that's a great place to do it. Also, we give updates on things that's happening in the TILLN verse. I like that. I've never said TILLN verse before, but I'm sticking with it. If you want to know what's happening in the TILLN verse, that's the best place to do it. You can go to TILLN.com. There's a link in the description, or you can text TILLN to 66866. There's a lot of ways to sign up for the mailing list to make sure you keep up to date with everything that we've talked about and everything that's going on in the TILLN verse. But anyways, now back to this episode. These people are trying to figure out how they're gonna raise this money, and then Nikita comes back to collect the contracts. And so he comes back to collect the contracts. He's like, you guys,
he's like, what do we think about
how
this?
you guys doing? And then just doesn't leave and stays the night with them.
And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to sleep over here.
Yeah. I brought a sleeping bag too. I'm going to hang out here. And they're like, that's weird. And then he does it the next night. And they're like, hey.
How long are you going to do this? He goes, I got to be here to oversee and make sure you guys do this for the full year.
And they're like, what about the other teams? And he's like, you don't need to worry about them. I'll be there too.
Wait. So he's just staying with them?
Yeah. So they start asking some more pointed questions. Long story short, the truth comes out that he's homeless. And so he needed a place to stay, and he was like, oh, you guys have a place to stay. I'll stay with you.
Wait, what?
And what he's doing for work right now is he's working at a bookstore, and the show got pushed off for a little bit because he needed to save up a little bit more money. So he was working extra shifts at the bookstore to save up a little bit more money, but he didn't have a place to stay. And so then he was like, I'm just going to stay with you guys while we shoot this show.
That got pushed off.
We pushed it off a little bit, but I'm going to stay with you. Also, the director dropped out. That's why he's not here. And so did the film crew.
And Richard Branson was never a part of this.
Richard, I don't know.
And
I never actually said.
And
Richard
the person
Branson.
I thought the person who told me she worked at CBS actually worked at CVS. And so that really messed up my whole life.
Mm-hmm. And so, and then the psychologist was actually his girlfriend.
And then she broke up with me after because she was like, you're trying to scam these people.
Yeah. And she's like, I feel weird about this.
What? You know?
Yeah. And she was like,
is this why you made us drive separate here? And she was like, no, you know.
I just can't stand being around you. So I
Me and my wife drive separate everywhere because we can't do car rides together. We go out for fancy dinner dates. Yeah. She sits across the room at a different table.
It's better if we're not anywhere
makes
near
me
each
pay
other.
the bill for 2 tables.
Yeah. How we doing checks? Oh, actually, you can give it to that guy over there. Yeah. See that table?
See the sad looking guy over there just eating by himself?
Table 24.
Yeah, he ordered tables, 3 plates of spaghetti that he's just shoveling over there. Yeah, give the checks to him.
Give the check to that guy. Hey, yeah, this lady said you were going to pay for her.
I will.
I will.
I will. So you get home, she's got her bedroom door locked. You sleep in different rooms.
Yeah. So they're outraged. He reads the room and he leaves.
For real?
I'm gonna go somewhere else.
How many days in do they go? This is a homeless person who's duped us.
They're here for like 5 days now.
Okay.
And so he leaves, and they're
like, well, the mission still exists.
they're kind of peeved at this point.
Yeah, of course.
So they put together a plan. They're like, well, you want to be on TV? We're going to get you on TV. So they called.
I'll be on TV either way.
They called London Nightly, I think is what the show's called.
Great.
Which is like their 60 Minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, we got a concept for you.
Sure.
And they're like, oh yeah, you do. They're like, tell us about it.
This is how they talk on the phone. Hey, I got a concept for you. Oh yeah. Oh, do you? Like there's a person in the operating room with the headset. That's a great gossip job. That's all they do, right? They just field all the incoming calls. Ooh, tell me more.
Spill the tea.
Ooh, and then they did what? Wow. Yeah, this isn't interesting for TV.
We don't like this idea.
But thanks for telling me.
Yeah, thanks for telling me about it. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, sorry. This is just the Burger King drive-thru you called.
Remember when you could walkie-talkie into drive-thrus? Do you remember that era?
What?
You never tried that?
No.
So you could frequency match.
Yeah.
The drive-thru and end up on you could have a walkie-talkie that frequency matched what they were using for the drive-thru.
That's insane. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. Now you can't because now they use it's like a software through a computer that does
radio.
It. Yeah, but it used to just be radio.
Jeez, that's hilarious.
So you could walkie-talkie in, and then you could just say stuff to the people in the drive-thru.
That's hilarious.
I love that
so much. No, I didn't know you could do that. I feel like I missed out.
Mount Vernon, dude.
I would have loved that.
Maybe it was up to date where you were living.
Loved that, maybe. Because that was my thing. We did have one of my buddies got one of those like bullhorns on his car with the CB radio, so you could yell at people from your car. We used to yell at kids all the time. We'd drive by.
Ah!
Yeah, 100 times. We drive by kids on their bikes and stuff.
Yeah. What a jerk, dude.
Like,
somebody, I remember very specifically, I was riding my bike to my grandma's house and a car pulled off the side of the road like they were going to hit me and then went back. We all see this, right?
It's a funny joke.
It's not. It's not funny.
It's a funny joke.
It's not funny.
It's okay. I was a bully. It's fine. We've talked about this. It's funny to threaten people and not follow through with it.
Okay.
So he leaves for a bit. They call the news, and the news is like, sick. We love this idea. And the guy's like, I've been filming for like 5 days. I've got all this footage of all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, sweet. Meet us at this location. We're going to do a footage drop. And so they take a box of all the footage. They meet him there. And while they're gone, Nikita comes back. And they're like, oh, we need to keep him here. And so they're
like, hey, we changed our minds.
They're like, yeah, it'd be sweet if you hung out with us.
We like you.
Like, yeah, we think you're really cool. Want to play Monopoly?
Yeah.
And so they really lock him in the house. They wouldn't let him leave.
No. You stay here.
Yeah. Okay. And the other people show back up and they're like, hey, he's back. They're like, call him and tell him he's here. And they can come do an interview.
Hello.
Hey, you're not going to believe this.
I probably won't. Tell me anyway.
That guy I was called earlier about, you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, I got him right here. Nikki, what was his last name?
Russian.
I put down Croatia. I knew it was somewhere over there.
Over there. Yeah.
Nikki Russia?
Yeah. He's here. We've got him. We've locked him in one of our bedrooms. You guys want to interview him for stuff?
No. Call us back if he kills somebody. Like, they're not interested.
Yeah, so they're like, yeah, we'll be there tomorrow. And so like, sweet. And so they
like, hey, you can stay the night here.
Yeah, they trap him in the house.
Like, really?
Yeah.
You guys were so mad at me earlier.
Yeah.
And like, hey, we're just really forgiving people.
Well, so they trap. And
he's kind of dumb.
It's not like it wasn't like that. It was like, hey, you're staying here.
You're staying here. We boarded the door shut.
Yeah, like you can't leave. And they were like, here's what we think. And they like kind of grilled him for a bit.
Oh, geez.
Of like, here's everything we gave up to be here. This was our dream to do this thing, and you took it from us.
Yeah.
And so then they lock him. So they set up a diary room. I didn't tell you this yet, but they set up a diary room in his house, like Big Brother, so they could do their diaries throughout this.
Sure.
Because they had a moment where they were like, we're going to pursue this.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, this is something else. But they kept filming everything.
Right.
And so they trapped him in the diary room.
Okay.
And then the news comes. They film an interview with him.
I'm like, where is he? He's in that back room. I don't think you guys legally could have done this. This is okay.
Hold on, we'll take the chains off the door.
Yeah. It takes like 20 minutes. Like, okay.
He's not in there.
Was he rabid?
Snuck out the back window.
Yeah, they forgot to shut the window.
The blinds are like blowing out the window. Gasp. And they're like, now this makes good TV.
Oh, you said he escaped? Oh, we're so in.
We're in now. Now you guys got to find him. If you find him, we'll give you $100 grand
going
each.
On? That's awesome. That's awesome.
So they interview him.
Yeah.
And they interview all the people in the house. And then they get a bunch of like weird action shots of the people in the house, like playing games and like sleeping in the sleeping bags and stuff like that. And then they leave and they turn to the people and they're like, thank you so much for your time. And then they just like turn to Nikita and just eyeball him and walk out and don't say a word to him.
And he's like, okay.
Okay, weird.
Yeah.
And so then they tell him, all right, you got to go.
You know what you did.
And so they essentially just kick him out. He asks for the footage. And I don't.
Hey, can I
have all that footage?
And like, what are you gonna do with it?
And he's like, I'm gonna make a TV show.
No, come on.
And so they kick him out. He's got no place to go. He goes, finds one of his friends. He like sleeps on the street that night. Finds his childhood friend, and they go to the pub together. And he's like, hey, because they used to like make movies and stuff together growing up. They were like those kind of kids. And they haven't seen each other in years. And so they're kind of catching up. And he's like, yeah, let me tell you about this thing I was doing.
All the good stuff that's happened in his life. Yeah, I'm married. I got a job. I'm
doing all these things.
All this fun stuff. Starting this new career. I'm an entrepreneur. What's up with you? And he's like, I'm homeless.
I'm
homeless.
Have you ever heard of reality TV? No, I haven't. Have you seen?
You'd love it.
It's your thing, man.
So imagine this: I get 30 people to make $100,000. That's $3 million.
$3 million.
Then I give the winning team $100,000 each. It's $1 million. That's my profit.
I get to keep $2 million.
Taxes, like, dude, I could do this. I could do this once a year.
Once a year, make $2 million a year. Easy.
You want in?
Yeah, you in? And so they're talking, they're catching up, whatever. And then the TV in the pub turns on London Nightly. And it's his special. Great. And there's his interview. And he's like, everyone in the pub is like, is that him? Is that the guy? And then his friend is like, that's literally you, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, I did do that thing.
He's like, that's my twin.
That's the twist. That's the twist.
It's a twin twist.
It's a twin twist. The whole time, the first that was real.
That was real.
Everybody, he beat them to the meetup.
Yeah.
The twin beat them to the meetup.
Yeah, dude. The other twin shows up to the park with the camera crew and director, and he's like,
no one's there.
All right,
yeah, and then he walks away on the phone with.
Did we tell him the wrong day or?
He's on the phone with Richard Branson at CBS. The conference guy's like, yeah, no one showed up. We casted 30
Do you
want
to show up here and see? And Richard Branson's like, I'll drive separate.
He was like,
the whole thing.
He's like, I'll be there in 20 minutes because he can fly anywhere in 20 minutes.
Yeah, because he can fly.
Because, Richard Branson has superpowers.
Remember when he went to space and did that whole video where he rode his bike?
Yeah.
Like he was riding to work. Do you remember that? Wasn't that him?
Rode his bike? What are you talking about?
Was that Richard Branson that did that? I'm pretty sure it was Richard Branson.
Oh, his motorcycle?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about riding his bike. I know when he went to space. I don't know what you're talking about riding his bike.
He rode his bicycle to the launch pad.
Oh. I do think I know what you're talking about.
Wasn't that Richard Branson? Like it was his commute to work.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, getting some fresh air on my way.
Yeah.
On my way to go to space.
I do remember this.
I'm a commoner. I'm just like you on my little bicycle. Before I go to space.
Before I take this trip to outer space.
I wanted to get one last feel of what it's like to be poor.
To be like one of you.
To be like, can't afford a car,
I'll ride my bike. Yeah, how quaint.
They didn't have a bike rack at the launch pad.
Yeah, there he is.
That's what I'm saying. Just biked to the launch pad.
That's so absurd. Okay, anyways, so his friend is really mad, right? And then that's the last time they ever talk. And so then he ends up being homeless for a while. That whole group says their goodbyes. They go home, and that's kind of the end of it. Until
2023.
Until wrong tab. Until, let's see, what's the year here? 2023. In October, a documentary drops on Prime called The Greatest Show Never Made. And they brought the whole cast back. Well, not the whole cast. Everyone who said, yeah, I'll be on this. So about half of the group, 6 people, came back and they recreated his apartment. And they made them relive their experience here and kind of tell the stories.
And then they shut the door.
And they said, you guys
nailed it shut.
Have to make $1 million. You
guys have to make $1 million.
But you can't leave this set.
And he goes, you don't recognize me? They come back for a documentary. And he walks in the room. He goes, thank you for being here. Welcome.
The project.
To M.
Still hasn't learned. Yes.
3.
And everyone's like,
Nikita.
So they tell the whole story. It's a 3-part documentary series.
Okay.
Definitely one of those ones where it should have been a single.
For sure.
The first episode tells the whole thing. The second one just vamps for a whole episode. The third one is the groundbreaking episode because they brought Nikita back.
Oh.
And
what's
so
it look like now?
Here's Nikita now. Honestly, glow up.
Oh.
Nikita, here's the thing though, is not Nikita Russian, we find out.
Okay.
He actually never was, kinda. So Nick Russian was actually born Keith Anthony Gillard. And he legally changed his name to Jack Lister in his early 20s. And then and then changed it again to Nikita Russian. And he was like, that's the one. That's me. Nikita Russian.
That's it.
He growing up was like a film nerd, like really wanted to get into that stuff.
Right.
But did not have a good childhood, had actually a really bad childhood, and then left home at like 16 to escape it. And that's why he changed his name, because he had a really hard time throughout his early 20s.
In London.
He was in Surrey.
Okay.
And then, he went to London and he studied English at University of London. Okay. But it eventually dropped out. And so he had a really bad sense of self, like a really negative sense of self, was very not confident.
Right.
And then he went on MTV's Made. I wish that were true.
Oh, damn. I was like, oh, what?
No, he had really negative self-confidence. So he changed his name from Keith to Jack Lister.
Is that all you got to do is change your name?
But he didn't feel like that fit. So then he changed it to Nikita Russian. And each time he changed his name, he like changed his personality. He's like, I'm finding who I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Nikita Russian, this person was a TV producer. And he's like, he had this dream of Nikita Russian's going to make these TV shows and they're going to be successful.
Right.
And he had this big dream of, we're going to make this show, which was Project MS2. And the concept was exactly how it was going to be. When he recounts the story, he says that in that initial meeting, he said, I don't know where it got misconstrued. He said the goal was to film a pilot and then sell it to CBS. and then court people like Richard Branson to sponsor it. And he said, but we're not going to, like, we didn't have that to begin with.
Okay.
He said the film crew I had there was actually students, and his goal was to have them come film the whole thing. But after that first shoot, he couldn't get them to buy in for a full year to film everyone. They're like, yeah, we have class. Yeah. And so that kind of fell apart.
Have school and a girlfriend, and you got to end all of that. What do you want? Success?
Yeah. Do you want to be successful, or do you want to be
a degree?
And so
plenty of people with theater degrees work serving tables. Okay.
So they dropped out. His director and him had a falling out. So his director dropped out.
Okay.
Which his director, honestly, coolest guy ever. This guy is Steven Tyler Perry.
Okay. It looks like the grasshopper from A Bug's Life.
Oh my gosh, he does. That's insane. And so the way Nikita tells the story is the goal was to shoot this and then sell the pilot.
Right.
And that's why he wanted
you're spending a full year to try to sell this thing?
Well, after everything fell apart, he still wanted that footage because he was like, I still really believed in it. I still thought we could sell this concept. And it's interesting.
He's like, and that's why I sold this documentary to Amazon Prime. If that's how it ended, he goes, and then I realized I can just sell a documentary about this thing.
Well,
and at the end it goes, produced by Nikita Russian. That'd be killer, dude.
Gosh, I hate that you said that because that's literally how it ends. But it's not. That's not what happened. One of the guys in the group, this guy in the bottom left, was like, what if this whole thing was just Nikita Russian again? And he's one of the producers. We're gonna watch this back and find out he got us back again. Like, and that's how it ends. Like, that's where the credits roll after he says that. And it's like, okay, but he's not a producer in the credits. So,
well, Nikita Russian isn't.
So yeah, that's a good point actually. So his name is not Nikita Russian anymore.
Obviously.
Now
Nikita Russian was homeless.
It's in Quentin Wolf.
Because he just sat there and went, M. Night Shyamalan. M. T. B. J. N. Okay. Night.
Quinn.
Day. Dark. Quinn. In Quinn?
In Quentin Wolf.
Quentin Wolf?
Okay, in Quentin Wolf, yeah. And now he's an author.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got this one. I do like his cover art, I will say. His cover art's good. Not poppin'. Most of his books on Amazon have like 17 reviews, but they're really positive. They're overwhelmingly positive.
I mean, you read the names on the reviews, though.
It's Nikita Russian.
Nikita Russian.
It's Keith.
Keith. Just Keith.
Keith Anthony Gillard, Jack Lister. It's all his names. So he went on to be an author. But here's the thing. Here's what I genuinely wonder. Because he was still trying to make this happen. They were all really mad at him because they were like, you crushed our dreams and we like gave up so much to come be on this. And his response, there's footage of him when they were kind of having that big blow up fight where they're like, you crushed our dream. And he's like, this is my dream too. He's like, you guys are crushing my dream too.
Sure.
And I think he still was like, we can still make this happen. Like, he was still fighting to get a pilot put together.
Okay.
And these people turned on him. And I almost wonder if these people didn't turn on him in that moment, if he could have somehow kept them from turning on them and still got them to do the challenge, if they could have put a pilot together and if they could have actually sold it and made something happen. But he lost them. He lost them in that. And so if there was some way he could have kept their trust or something or restored their trust, could it have actually happened?
Well, I think him being homeless didn't really instill a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I do think I
think him showing up and being like, I kind of really need this to work out, you know?
I mean, yes. Yeah, I will. Yeah. But it is interesting when you watch these people are now adults and you watch them talk about it and they do still talk about it. Like, he was clearly a bright guy. He was down on his luck and made some bad choices and he deceived us all, and that was pretty sad. And some of them were still really angry about it, but some of them, like, you could tell, kind of felt for him in a way. So I don't know. At the end, it ended up being a little moving, seeing them kind of all the people reunite and talk about that. And then they all did like video diaries to Nikita.
Goodbye messages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Nikita, sorry we had to vote you out.
So I do think that there's a possible world
where this could have worked.
Where this could have worked out, where they could have actually shot the pilot and it could have happened. But because the group turned on him and he couldn't get their trust back, it didn't happen, and he went down as a con man. I don't think he was ever a con man, though. I don't think this was ever like you said, I'm going to take $2 million out of this. I think his goal was genuinely, I'm going to make this show, and he bit off more than he could chew.
Oh, sure.
Then it all fell apart.
But I wonder, like, I don't think that production company would, like CBS or, any TV channel would be like, let's commit to a full year of production.
Yeah, that's a huge
very
thing.
Big.
Yeah. Yeah.
For something we don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially in that era. Now, maybe, because now these sorts of shows we know work. In that era, it was so early. And maybe because it was so big. They?
Because Survivor used to be 40 days and now it's what, like 18?
That is true. Yeah, they make them all really short now.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I don't know. Well, anyways, the show ends with that moment that I told you about. But just before that moment I told you about, this guy gets out his guitar, the director. The director sings. He's like, I wrote what I think probably could have been the theme song. And so it was actually genuinely very good. And he plays it, and it was.
When he rolls up his sleeve, he ain't putting on the Ritz.
Our God
is an awesome God.
The song was the hook was "It's the greatest show never made," and so he kept saying that hook. And then at the end, after that hook, the last time he hit it,
sing how he sounds.
Oh gosh, what do you think the melody is?
It's the greatest show never made. Like a dad rock kind of thing.
No, you're on the right track. It was like
was he raspy?
It was kind of Skinnerdy because he was playing acoustic guitar, so it was a little Skinnerdy. Skinnerdy.
Okay.
But the last hook, he hits the hook and then tags it the last time with
greatest show.
Maybe it finally will.
Maybe it finally will.
Yeah. And so it kind of leaves you on this cliffhanger as if
just Nikita Russian getting us all back. It'd be crazy if he was one of the producers of this.
Yeah. So it kind of tags with like the producers kind of set themselves up like we could make this show. It's kind of the way they set it up to end. So maybe in a couple of years, we're going to see this show actually happen. Because I genuinely do think that this idea it's like a mixture of Undercover Billionaire and The Amazing Race. But with people
how long is The Amazing Race?
I don't know. So there's a chance that we might see this actually happen now. There's a chance. They kind of set that up. So the documentary's on Prime, greatest show never made. The show itself, the documentary is decent. The last episode's really... skip episode 2. Episode 1 and 2 are where all the meat is.
This is the end of the episode?
This is the end of the episode.
Well, you know what that means.
Hi everyone, this is William Hung. This is TILLN Podcast. Thanks for watching. All Hail the Watcher. Fiddle Off.